Committee organizational meeting, special meeting, Thursday, November 12th, 2020 at 6:00 PM in accordance with Governor Ramondo's Executive Order 20-93 dated November 5th, 2020. The Cumberland School Committee intends to conduct this meeting remotely. The public can participate in this meeting remotely, but not in person by calling 312-626-6799. The webinar ID is 987-3082-4981. Or you can go to the Cumberland School Department website, our events calendar. You'll find a link to Zoom, and the passcode is 095181. Thank you. All right, first order of business is Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance
to the flag
of the
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, next is we have the approval of the agenda, item number A1.
Approve the agenda.
Can I read it?
Sorry. Let's go.
Compliance with Governor's Executive Order 20-93 dated November 5th, 2020. Mike, there is adequate public access.
Yes, there is.
All right, I need a motion to approve.
Motion to approve.
By Mrs. Waters, seconded by?
Second.
Second by Mrs. Friedman and Mr. Collins. All in favor?
Aye.
Ayes have it 6-0, unless Mr. Salvatore is here and I don't see him. All right, approved 6-0. Please note for the record, Mr. Salvatore is not present. All right, the organizational meeting all the way from A to D has been canceled because the election has not been certified. I heard today that it could be certified by Monday before Thanksgiving. That's how long it's taken them to do this. I can't believe they don't know how to count down there, but I mean, I know the military has time to get their ballots in, but this is ridiculous. So next
Well,
we'll
for
move
the last election, we didn't get sworn in until December, so that's
December.
on track. Yeah, the first meeting in December.
All right, well, next is comments from the public. There'll be many opportunities here tonight to speak. Public comment is a few times, so anyone from the public would like to speak, they could speak now, or you could speak at a different time in the agenda. Please make yourself known to Mr. Chandler, and we need your name and address for the record.
Anybody like to raise their hand? They can raise their hand through the application. We can unlock it for you. I don't see anybody on a phone at this point. They're all, looks like on a computer, so.
Okay, we'll move forward then. Next is public hearings. Item number A, regarding the new policy, second reading. Item number 1, F2, no idling of motor vehicles. Mr. Fiorelli, just want to give a quick recap.
Yeah, this is just the policy that's required under the bond referendum that the state wants us to have, that RIDE wants us to have. It's already in place for school buses, I believe, under Rhode Island law. It just extends to all motor vehicles of any kind that are on school premises. We had the first reading last time, and tonight's just the final vote for it.
Final vote. All right.
And I'll make a motion to approve.
Mr. Fiorello makes a motion to approve, but before you do that, we have public comment. So anyone wish to speak about this new policy in regards to idling of motor vehicles on school property? Please make yourself known to Mr. Chandler.
I don't see any hands up at this time.
Okay, Mr. Fiorelli, make a motion to approve. Seconded by
Second.
Second with discussion.
Mr. Collins for this.
With discussion, I just have one question. I with everything else going on, I think I may have forgotten to ask this, but who enforces this? You know what I mean? I can just see in my experience, people, I'm not turning my car off. So who enforces it, and what's the penalty for people who don't comply? Meaning parents, if they're picking their kids up. Not that I anticipate this being a huge problem, but all it takes is one.
I have no idea.
I guess we would have to call the police to get someone to shut their vehicle down, but I
Yeah.
mean, it's probably just another one of these policies that will not work in the state anyways, but that's what we have. So we had a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it 6-0. Thank you. Next is another set of comments from the public. If there's anyone that would like to public hearing, reading the new policy. I think we've duplicated this already in regards to this reading about the F2 because we approved it the last meeting and we just did it again. It's on the agenda again. So we'll move.
Mr. DeMonico?
Yes.
I do. Oh, somebody just had their hand up. I didn't know if you wanted to take them in.
Yeah, go right ahead.
List this, Kef.
It's me, it's Carrie Feather. I just wanted to say hello now that I can actually say hello. Looking forward to joining you guys at some point soon, but just wanted to make sure I said hello.
Okay,
Hello.
welcome.
Thank you.
All right, so next door, we'll skip item number A under new business because we just took care of that under the public hearing for the second reading. So we'll move to B, discussion and a vote to approve contractual payment to Durham School Services. Mr. Prignano?
Yes, good evening. This basically came up a few weeks ago in talking with Durham about, the amount of money they're looking for last year when we stopped paying them in March. And, what the outstanding balance we owe them, whatever. They asked if they could get, since we hadn't paid them in so long, when they found out the school committee meeting wasn't going to be, I thought it was going to be November 12th, like the second Thursday. They had asked if we could possibly get their check out a little bit early. I guess maybe they have some cash flow issues with us not paying them for so long. And so then, I asked this about probably a week and a half or so ago, and it kind of ended up this special meeting getting called. I think that you thought they would have an organizational meeting tonight anyhow, and so we put it on there. I think whether now they're paid the 12th or this had waited to just come in with the regular bills on the 19th isn't that much of a difference. I think they were hoping to get paid around the first of the month, and it would have been 3 weeks difference between that and the when the school committee will meet. But so if you want to approve it tonight, that one item, I will get that out to them tomorrow. What it represents is the signed contract we have calls for payments in July of August of $220,000 each. It's has nothing to do with what we owe them last year or what we owe them, for the deferrals they've given us in making payments to them over the past. This is just their regular July and August payments that are due per the contract.
So the amount is $440,000.
Right,
and then-
it's $220,000 a
Right.
month.
And they didn't provide any services in July or August of this year, correct?
No, well, they did. They provided some services for, I believe, they've started in September with, the special ed population and the preschool, et cetera. But the fact that we were going back to school and we were going to honor our contract for the year, the way the deferral works out is we make payments in each and every month, 60 payments over 60 months over the 5 years.
Right, but have we heard back from Durham yet in regards to their 45% request for?
Yes, I have, and we should schedule a meeting at finance sometime soon. This wasn't the meeting to have it when you would have your organizational meeting and the rest of it.
Okay,
Especially when the new members or whatever, aren't being allowed to
right. I understand.
participate yet. But I think maybe we get into finance next week, shortly, and we'll lay out everything that, that we have. Probably should be an executive session. Wouldn't you agree, Steve?
Yes.
Okay. All right, well, anyone have any questions in regards to Mr. Collins? Go ahead.
No, this $440,000, this is for deferral payments. This isn't for services
No.
rendered in July and August.
No, it's part of when we took some 600 and something thousand dollars of savings over a 3-year period.
Yeah.
The way the contract bills is there's the payments each of the remaining years are a little bit higher than what they would be if we were just paying for the normal cost of what a bus costs. And what we do is we spread it out over 12 months. And a lot of that was done, for cash flow purposes, and for also it helped them get paid a little bit sooner because they didn't have to wait till the end of a month to send a bill in when we knew how many buses ran and, how many days were in the month or whatever. It kind of allows us to, know in December what the payment's going to be right now. This is kind of a different year because of COVID and we may not be using all the buses, but in a normal year, we know the payment for each and every month. And it helps them make the school calendar, to get on for the month to get paid and the rest of it. Where that stuff used to somehow, if they got it in a little bit late, it wouldn't make it didn't make the meeting when we paid bills. The next school committee, there wouldn't be bills, and they'd be waiting sometimes 45, 60 days to get paid,
Okay. Anyone else have a question in regards to this? I mean, I could see that we schedule, hopefully we can get this new board elected, and sworn in as soon as possible. And then maybe for our December first meeting in December, we have that fiscal and executive session so that the new members can be brought up to speed in regards to, and we can get those answers in regards to the 45 and 95%, because I suspect it'll take more than 20 minutes in executive session to go over this material, so.
Yeah, we should have an executive session probably just for that item.
Okay. All right, is there anyone out there that has a question in regards to this at all? I see a bunch of people there. Okay, hearing none, I need a motion to approve payment of Durham in the amount of $440,000 for July and August payments. Do I have a motion?
I'll do it. Motion to approve.
Motion by Mrs. Waters, seconded by Mr. Fiorello. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Ayes have it, 6-0. Thank you. All right, next on the agenda is comments from the public again. Mr. Mitchell, go ahead.
Yeah, good evening, everyone, and members of the public. I just wanted to bring something to everyone's attention so that families can plan accordingly. As you all know, we have Thanksgiving week coming up soon. That is the week of the 23rd. Yes.
I don't want to interrupt you, but we didn't make an amendment to the agenda before you started speaking.
Right.
Do we need to do that first?
It's,
No, Jen, we're going to allow that during public comment. Speaking of
Okay.
Mr. Adams.
Okay, I just want to make sure
Yep.
we're good.
So
I'm
just
sorry.
so- Just so the public is clear, Mr. Mitchell is speaking as part of public comment. So
Yep.
it is nothing more than that.
do you need my name and address?
No, I don't.
State
Okay.
your name.
All right. So anyway, the reason that I thought it was important for me to mention this is provides an opportunity for families to plan accordingly. The Thanksgiving week begins on Monday, the 23rd, which you all know is a virtual day for us. And the state calendar that you all approved, and I believe just about every school district in the state approved the calendar that was provided by the state. And this year includes the day before Thanksgiving off, that Wednesday before Thanksgiving, which is the 25th. So since we have a virtual day on the 23rd, the administrative team felt that it really didn't make sense to have one group of students come into school that week. So half the students would be coming in on the 24th. We felt that given the skyrocketing number of positive cases in the state, that it just made sense to make that Tuesday, the 24th, November 24th, a distance learning day. So those 2 days, Monday, the 23rd, and Tuesday, the 24th, would be distance learning days. the entire administrative team was in agreement, and we just wanted to let the public know, as I mentioned, so that they can plan accordingly. I don't know if anyone has any questions. Yes.
There is no question. Mr. Adams is saying we can't ask questions because it's.
I have a public comment.
Go ahead.
My public comment, this is Heidi Waters, is if Mr. Mitchell would like to state after my public comment, if the Tuesday, it would be nice for the families to know if the Tuesday, the 24th, is a distance learning day live instruction for everybody, or if it's a traditional Tuesday distance learning day. Similar to the Monday or similar to a Tuesday, but at home. By that, I mean, are the people independent? Are the B groups independent or live instruction?
Well,
I'd like to make a public comment.
You can't.
I can make a public comment.
Hey, you're muted, Steve.
I just want to ask that
Listen.
maybe a clarifying email could be sent out in the future.
Yes, I think Mr. Mitchell did this in order to get information to the public. The public will be provided with supplemental information. We don't need to have a fake agenda item. That is not the purpose. Please. I hate to use the daddy voice. I'm sorry, but yeah.
If I may just
additional notice so that everyone will understand exactly what the story is, and the entire public can email him and ask him to clarify as we go forward. We're still almost 2 weeks away. Does that help? I hope so. That was the intent.
Yes, it does. Anyone else have public comment here? Comments from the public? Mr. Chandler, could you check and see if anyone has their hands raised?
At this time, nobody has their hands raised.
Okay, well, I have just one public comment because the way this COVID is happening with the governor and we're all meeting on Zoom. Yesterday was Veterans Day. I would like to thank everyone who's a veteran in the town of Cumberland and around the world, that you're not forgotten in Cumberland. So that was my public comment in regards to that. Thank you to all the veterans out there. Okay, hearing none, we're going to move on to school committee comments, school liaison reports. Anyone have a comment or a school liaison report? Mr. Fiorello?
Yeah, I just want to mention that, as we all know, we've had several COVID cases over the last several weeks. We've had various students and staff quarantining. Obviously, the staff is doing the best they can. They are very stressed, I believe, at this point, trying to get everything done and under the circumstances that they're operating. I think it would be a great idea if parents could just reach out to their classroom teachers and just, give them some words of encouragement. I think it would go a long way.
Thank you, Mr. Fiorello. I do have a comment, and the governor today talked about the school departments are going to probably be taking over the contact tracing and advising RIDE, what we're up to. We're kind of doing it already. It's just another way. The governor just lost control of this, and I believe in that going to become a lot more work, more than what we're doing already for the school department, to let everyone know what's happening with their schools. And it just puts a lot more burden on the school department. And with that being said, anyone else? I mean, Mr. Collins, go ahead.
Yes, Mr. Chair, you actually stole my thunder, because I was actually thinking about this, because, one of the things that's obviously come up is the fact that with contact tracing, people are going through quarantine before they're even contacted by the Department of Health. So in my district, they do, the school nurse, the head nurse does contact tracing, which is not realistic for us, because I think our nurses are obviously overbooked. We would have to bring in outside personnel. But with a lot of people are clamoring for it to be done in-house. But what we have found, I actually looked into this today, what happens is the contact tracing stops at the school. So when the Department of Health handles contact tracing, they can go through outside the school, into families, into the workplace, into places of worship, or wherever they go. This contact tracing will be a solution just to keep the schools open. It will not it will not contribute to any sort of school outside of community contact tracing. And it's really, I don't know how effective it is. It's so I want to caution people because people want the schools open, but it's a balance. It's a balance.
Thank you, Mr. Collins. Anyone else have a comment? School committee comment? Mrs. Waters, you're still here. Go ahead.
I am still here. Thank you, Mr. Demonica. I just wanted to just make a statement about the toll that this is kind of taking on our kids, this whole environment, and it's Mr. The principal of CHS sent out a note today to the students and parents, and imploring them to put their best foot forward, that there's a lot of work not getting turned in. And concurrently, the Valley Breeze had published a story about similar events happening in North Smithfield High School and how they're attributing it to pandemic depression in kids. And I've seen it in a lot of kids personally. I know it's a real thing. So I would just implore us to really think about what are the reasons behind why kids are not doing as well during this pandemic, and what are the supports that we can provide to them.
Great.
That's it.
Good comments. All right. Thank you, Mrs. Waters, Mrs. Bernardo again. But I think we may need your services next Thursday again.
I got it on the calendar.
And for Carrie Feather and Carrie Smith, please be patient. The governor may not suspend the election, I guess, and you'll finally get to serve on the school committee, and well-deserved, and we'll know if Dan or Amy got elected as well. So, Mr. Mitchell, do we need to go into executive session tonight for any items?
No, we do not, Mr. Chairman.
We do not. So I need a motion to adjourn the meeting.
Motion to adjourn.
Motion by Mrs. Waters to adjourn.
Second.
Second by Mr. Collins. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Ayes have it 6-0. Thank you, everyone. Good night.
Thank
Good night,
you.
everyone. Good night.
Good night.